Rita, who have you got for us?
I've got a nomination who, when I'll say her name, you'll be saying who? Mary Aldred.
Who?
Exactly.
Who? What?
Exactly. It's the first time I have heard of this character, the member for Monash, first term Liberal MP. And the Libs are just absolutely leaking like a sieve. Jacinta Price had a commentary about this throughout the week, about just how badly the place is leaking. And she went and had a go at Andrew Hastie in the party room meeting, tore strips off him apparently, a first-term MP who's achieved nothing, who's never laid a glove on Labor, having a go at Andrew Hastie, a most likely future leader of the party. I mean, what is going on in the Liberal Party, James?
So, well, she gets a nomination. She gets a joint nomination with Paul Scar. That'll be Paul Scar.
Who?
Now, yes,
Who?
They're so well known, these Liberals. They're really punching above their weight, aren't they? He's the opposition. He's Susan Lay's immigration spokesman, who also had a crack at Andrew Hastie. This seems to be the flavour of the month, saying that, and kind of, it was taken that comments that Andrew Hastie made were taken by Paul Scar to be reflections of Enoch Powell. So this was the idea that he was somehow starting to feel like a stranger in our home, which I mentioned earlier. This was all, kind of Enoch Powell style. I'm sorry. And I've said it many times before, and I'll say it again. I believe Enoch Powell has been more than vindicated in the warnings he gave about immigration without assimilation and integration, which was the point of the famous Rivers of Blood speech. Not immigration per se, but immigration without assimilation and integration. And Andrew Hastie is saying the same thing. So I'm afraid, Mr. Scar, you get a joint wally with the two people nobody's ever heard of.
I'm sorry. It has to be the Dean. I think, Paul Scar, absolutely. I think
Rita's got another.
Rita's got another one.
No. I just wanted to on Scar, just part of this speech, because this is what they do.
Yeah.
Talk about things like social cohesion, but they also he said here, the debate must be based on evidence and facts. It must be measured and considered. Those two things don't go together. Sometimes evidence and facts can't be that considered because they're stark, they're shocking. They lay out very clearly why a particular policy may be terrible for a country. So you can't demand facts and evidence and figures and then say, oh, no, but you must be
measured and considered.
You've got to just, not say anything that's going to upset anybody anywhere.
But that's
not how it works.
And that's how you end up calling they.
But this is where the Liberal Party is so compromised on this issue because, they've got the business lobby and the university lobby and the property developers lobby all in their ear saying, keep this Ponzi going, and that's all this is. That's all it is. Absolutely. And, you can strip all the culture and all the ethnicity out of it. The fact of the matter is we are building at absolute capacity. There are not enough homes. It is making it impossible for us young Australians to get into a property. It is pushing up the price of everything. Most of these migrants are not skilled, despite what Labor likes to say. Most of those who are here on student visas are not studying at, sandstone universities. There is an easy lay-down misère economic case to make radical cuts for at least 5 years to immigration. Paul Scar is not the man to prosecute this. He hasn't said anything even about the 100,000 people who are here illegally, having been denied all of their claims for refugee and asylum. I'm sorry, I think that,
they are not ready to have an actual debate about facts and figures and evidence by the unhinged, hysterical reaction to Senator Price talking about Indian migrants and the
quoting
evidence that Kosamaris mentioned about the proportion of the
Labor using
Labor.
But this is why
they treated that as some sort of a race crime, as some sort of racist commentary, when she was just repeating what a Labor pollster had
And it was an attack on the Labor Party. It wasn't an attack on Indians, it was an attack on the Labor Party.
And just to prove my point before about why it was important to look at Kos's own numbers, his own numbers say people born outside of Australia are very happy to vote LNP, more so than those born here. So it undermines the whole point. And, for the Liberals to be running away from this issue is terrifying.